I'm a gold digger. I married a rich man for his money. Years later, I told him the truth. Then one sentence changed everything I believed about our marriage. I grew up washing my hair with cheap body soap some months because shampoo was a luxury we skipped. My mom cleaned other people's houses 6 days a week, and we still couldn't always cover rent. I learned early that being sweet doesn't put gas in the tank. I told myself someday I'd never count pennies at a gas pump again. I did the responsible thing first. Good grades, community college, a desk job at an insurance office that paid just enough to keep the lights on and nothing else. I wasn't going to out-earn where I started, but I was easy on the eyes. That was the only card I had. So at 24, I played it. I took a summer job at a marina, restocking ice and running lines for men who owned boats worth more than my mother's whole life. I wasn't there for the tips. I was there to listen. Rich men talk at marinas, they can't help it, and I learned fast who was kind and who just liked being looked at. 2 guys in sunglasses, driving convertibles, asked me to dinner that first week. I said no to both. Flash fades fast. Patience doesn't. I picked Walter within the month. 61, widowed 2 years, still sailing a boat older than me that he refused to replace. He tipped quietly, never once looked me up and down, and asked what book I was reading, then actually remembered the answer. So, I built myself around Saturdays, his day at the dock. I learned his coffee order. I laughed at his terrible boat puns. I mentioned, casually, that I'd always wanted to learn to sail. 2 weeks later, he offered to teach me. I'd practiced looking surprised in the mirror the night before. Dinners turned into Sundays. Sundays turned into a key to his house. Within a year, he proposed at that same dock at sunrise with a ring I couldn't have paid off in a decade. No prenup. His daughter begged him. He just said, I trust her. Here's the part I didn't plan for. He was good to me, quietly good. He asked my opinion and actually waited for it. He kept his late wife's photo on the mantle, and I never once asked him to move it. Some mornings, I caught myself talking to her while I made coffee. Then, 3 years in, a hurricane took out 2 properties he'd underinsured, and the lawsuits followed close behind. The marina, the boat, gone. Everyone waited for me to run. My sister said, you did your time, cut your losses. I stood in our half-packed kitchen, wrapping his late wife's china in newspaper, and realized I didn't want to leave. I sold my car and paid our lawyer myself. It felt better than driving it ever did. But the guilt finally caught up all at once. Last night, at our tiny rented table, I told him everything. The practiced surprise, the sailing lesson I'd engineered, that I'd picked him off a dock like a raffle ticket. He just took my hand and said, honey, I've known since your 2nd week. He said, I buried a wife. I know what a real laugh sounds like, and yours took a month to show up, but it showed up. He said, you stuck around after the money didn't. Then he smiled and said, you've got to be the worst gold digger in history. You stayed after I lost the gold.